Hey guys, it's RG the Fed. We're back with another Stagg review. Dave Vogelson was nice enough to send us several different batches of Stagg. We do actually have a sample of the 22B that's we've already tried. We won't be busting that one back out, but we will be doing 23A, which is one of the newest ones, 17, and batch 15. I've got batch 22B and batch 18 on the table. We won't be doing any samples of those. We've already drank a ton of Stagg, so I don't think we need to sit here and do a crazy flight right now. But we're going to open up these samples and we're going to pour some glasses up and we're going to just sit here and just enjoy Dave Vogelson and what he sent us. You know, plastic sticking to me, got the fan going this time, guys, so maybe the audio will change a little bit. It's just getting too hot in here with all the lights. So we got 23A and AJ's on main Glen. Trying to actually enjoy these samples. We just had dinner. We got a little bit of water in our thermos over here beside us, so we have something to do in between pallets to cleanse them before we try. I'm struggling with plastic like always. It is my arch nemesis. It is like impossible for me to open up half of these because of the plastic. This one's extra full with this batch 17. There we go. So when we get these samples poured up, we will talk more about the proof points on them because Stagg, at least the 15 and 17, are the batches where they had junior on them. Batch 18 was the first batch that did not have the junior. So that's why we got it on the table too, just to kind of talk about that. So the Stagg 17 and 15 did have junior. All right. We're not quite sure on the reasoning behind why they decided to remove the junior and just call it Stagg. Maybe they finally hit that age statement and kind of got that point they wanted to cross. But we'll go oldest to newest this time. So batch 15 is 131.1 proof. Batch 17 is 128.7 proof. And just the normal Stagg without the junior, 23A, is 130.2 proof. So if you didn't know, with the batches starting with 18 going all the way down to their first batches, they didn't put a batch number on here. Then really the only way you could tell what batch you had, excluding store picks, that's a whole nother ball game we'll get into. You had to look at a proof point and match it up with that year. And I think there might have been 2 years that had the same batch number, maybe 4 and something else. So it kind of became an issue when it came to deciding, like, if someone has an unopened bottle, like, which batch are you truly getting? They have these laser etchings too in the glass. If I can find it, I don't know if I can even get it on camera. This one doesn't seem to have one that I can see. I'm sure it does somewhere. You could try to match the laser etchings up, but like even that wasn't really like a good giveaway on it. But like 22B, they started putting batch numbers on the bottle. So all of the newer releases now have a batch number, so there won't be any confusion. And they got A's and B's, so they do 2 releases a year. So I have the batch 22A. It's over in a box. I have a box full of bottles that are ready for bottle kill. It's not empty yet, and then I have a 22B that we're working on. So I have both releases for 22A and B. This is 23A. I think 23B is already out, but I haven't seen it yet. But Dave Vogelson was nice enough to send me some Stagg because we kind of got a going thing with Adam over at Major Zero about his obsession for Stagg hunting, and Matt from Whiskey Wisdom decided that we were going to capitalize on that and do some collaboration. So we have the Villains of Whiskey Tube, and the bottle that's forefronted on that is Stagg, because this is just a highly allocated bottle that is very coveted. Stagg MSRPs for around $58 to $68 roughly. Of course, I've never seen one at a store ever, especially not for MSRP. All the bottles I have, I've had to trade for. So My first bottle that I traded for, and the one I drank the least amount because I just did a fresh crack on it, was batch 18. I traded a bottle of Bomberger's 2023 Declaration from Michter's. I paid $100 for it. That was a 1-to-1 trade. The 22A that I've almost killed, I traded a Jack Daniel's twice barreled Heritage 2023 edition rye. I received 22A, and I also received a Smoke Wagon red, white, and blue. And then the 23B that we got on, or sorry, 22B that we have on the table, we did a 1-to-1 trade. We traded another bottle of the Jack Daniel's twice barreled Heritage rye. So $100 for the Bombergers to trade for this one. $75 for the first bottle of Heritage Rye that I traded for, where I got the Stagg and the Smoke Wagon. That was my best deal. And then I paid $90 for the Jack Daniel's twice barrel Heritage Rye the second time I got it, which I traded for this bottle. So enough backstory about the bottles I own. These 3 samples came from Dave Vogelson. We're going to try them because we've never had these 3, so these are all going to be a unique experience. We are going to start from the oldest and work our way up to the newest and kind of see like what kind of flavor we're really going to get when we go back to batch 15, 131.1 proof. I think my favorite note on these is cherry.
So at this point, I'm having to do voiceovers after the fact, so we're kind of missing the whole point of doing the nose and the tasting on camera and basically live time of my first experience with these batches. So we had, like I said, batch 15, 17, and 23A on the table. I'm going to just summarize what happens. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that we can voice over and match up what I said during the video. So essentially it's a different balance between the spice from the char on the barrel to whether the vanilla and caramel notes were muted or very apparent. And then my favorite note, the medicinal cherry that I typically get on Stagg and that I prefer on Stagg. That note comes out pretty bold, I would say, on the 15 and the 23A, but the cherry note wasn't super apparent for the 17, at least in my experience. It was still there, it just wasn't the highlight of the Stagg like I prefer when I'm drinking a higher proof Stagg. These were super awesome. They were given to me by Dave Vogelson. It was just a wonderful experience to be able to have all these. As I drank these and I enjoyed them, I went back and continued drinking them, and then I finished them off camera as well because I didn't quite finish the Glens during the video. We're not going to talk throughout this whole thing, so there's going to be parts where there's going to be no audio. We'll probably have to cut this sooner than I would have liked. We have about 6 minutes of our experience of us enjoying each and every one of these, talking about them and kind of drinking them off camera, talking about the channel. But if you guys can see that microphone difficulty, if you have those wireless mics, they've got to be charged. You can't plug them in and use them either. Well, I mean, I guess you could technically plug them in and use them, but I do most of my recording from a Galaxy S20 Plus, and I bought this little Bluetooth receiver set for some microphones. I figured they sound a little bit better, although you can't control the gain. They are made in China, and they don't really have an estimated time on battery life on how much I can use them for. So as we're recording this video, I've got one that's being charged right beside me, and then I got another one in the other room that I'm charging as well, so we can try to make sure this doesn't happen. And I didn't want to scrap this video because of the audio, so we're just letting it roll. Unfortunately, I have another video that I also recorded where the video had audio at the very beginning, just like this one, and the microphone died again. So I should have known something was up when I checked the microphone before recording the second one, that I had to turn the microphone back on, and I never turned it off. So that was kind of a red flag that I ignored, and it cost me the audio in my video, which is going to in turn affect this video and its performance. And I'm going to have to do the same with the next video that I have. So pretty devastated, but didn't want to scrap the video. had to take some time to think about it, and I figured this morning I can do my voiceover and continue on. But it's enough talking about the microphone issue. This video is about Stagg. This was just an awesome experience because I never had 15, 17, or 23A. It is definitely different to see how Stagg has developed over the years. It's all very, very similar flavor profiles as far as the mash bill and the flavor profile of Stagg. It's just a different balance and blend with how hot or how muted some of the notes are and the flavor. It is really cool to experience this. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to try these, and I hope you guys can enjoy the fact that we had microphone issues and move past that. If you've made it this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.